Hi, we're Jim and Caryn Kommers. We've been coming to Sun Valley for about 6 years. In the winter of 2022, I find myself not okay. Like something's not right, not feeling well. I dropped 35 pounds in less than 4 weeks. And finally, Caryn puts her foot down and says, you need to get checked out. So after blood work, a couple of examinations, whatever, we get the results back and I'm told I have stage 4 liver failure. And my prognosis is I have 6 months to live unless I get a liver transplant. And that's it. There's nothing else to be done. Day-to-day life for us and me turned into going to appointments and can I get out of bed? Can I get in the shower? Can I show up to anything? I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, and I had exhausted every avenue that was in front of me. All the doctors, all the research, everything else. I hit a wall.
And I was like, I don't want to talk about the future, God. My husband is very, very sick. What if he doesn't make it? What if I lose my husband? And at that moment I had to say, God, if I trust you with today, and I've learned to trust you in the past, I've got to trust you with my future. And there was this whole level of peace that came out of that I'd never had before, because I never really had to lay that down, to yield that, to surrender that future to God.
I ran out of me. I hit the end of my rope and my ability to affect my own situation. And when you do that, there's an imminent silence, and then all that's left is God. Like there are literally two roads: despair and yield and surrender. I prayed, and I just can't really explain. A peace came over me that just went, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. And as the days went by, our small group coalesced around us. They showed up and brought me food, and they fixed my pool, and they helped my wife, and they prayed on me. Week after week after week. They just showed up. I found out that there were people praying for me all over the world. And it was one of the most deeply humbling things I've ever experienced. It just like the clouds started to part. Like all of a sudden there's some daylight. There's a possibility. Every 5 to 7 days, I had 10 liters of fluid pulled off me. And then all of a sudden, that started going down. 7, 6, 5, 1, none. And we've got appointments scheduled to go in to get officially on a transplant list. Halfway through the first of 3 days of testing, we end up in an appointment with a doctor, and the nurse comes in, and she's very interested in like what I've been doing and taking. And I said, nothing. I've had thousands of people praying for me. She's like, yeah, but, and I'm like, I got nothing else to add. So then the fellow comes in and asks the same question. And I'm like, I've just had thousands of people praying for me. Then the doctor comes in, and he's kind of giddy. Like he's fumbling papers around, and he goes, Mr. Kommers, we don't get to say this very often, but you're healed. I'm like, and he goes, he catches himself, and then he says, your liver's recovered. But he said first, you're healed. What I want to share is there's hope, even when there's no hope. When the world is telling you, you got no options, you got no solutions, nothing to be done for you, there is hope in a relationship with God, a relationship with Jesus, and leaning on the people that love you and that are around you. There's hope.